Hello, and how is everyone doing? I hope you're well. Right. Oh, I wasn't sure I was going to come on, but yeah, I'm here now. I hope you're doing well today. Right. Where's everyone? I'm sure everyone is busy doing something, but never mind. If you join later, you are welcome. Absolutely welcome. Okay, let's talk about our dear saint, our saint, Mother Theresa, the saint. A saint or a villain? What do you think? Villain or saint? I have my I have my own opinions, what I think, whether she's a saint or a villain. But uh, hmm, how about we go and check her out? Right, 1 second. Okay, right, let's check out this lady here. Share. Okay, let's have a look at what the world wants us to know about the saint, Mother Teresa, the nun who became a saint. Let's see. Okay, it's on 200%, so that's okay. So, Mother Teresa, there she is. So during her lifetime, Mother Teresa became famous as the Catholic nun who dedicated her life to caring for the destitute and dying in the slums of Calcutta, now known as Kolkata. Okay, the last time I spoke about this lady, I thought she was doing missions in Africa, so I apologize. I think she was doing missions in Calcutta, not in Africa. Maybe she went to Africa. I don't know, to be honest. So she founded the order, the Missionaries of Charity, to look after abandoned babies and to help the poorest of the poor. She once said that they live like animals but die like angels. How can you live like an animal and then die like an angel? Maybe when I was still a Christian, I would have agreed. But that statement right there saddens me. No one should have to live like an animal and die like an angel. No one. Die like an angel. In 1979, she received the Nobel Peace Prize. And after her death, she was canonized as Saint Theresa. So, like it or not, she is a saint according to um, the Catholic Church. Marie Marcel Tikekara grew up around the corner from Mother Teresa's orphanage and volunteered there as a young girl. She spoke to witnesses about her experience, her own faith, and how she felt about Mother Teresa's methods, which we will be looking into the methods of this woman. But already, just hearing about her and the things that she believed, it's already problematic, because she said the people she cared for lived like animals but died like angels, which means on this earth, their situation is dire, their situation is bad. But when they die, they get to have the best life, well, the best afterlife. Since coming away from Christianity, I don't believe that stuff no more. So, no, well, in my opinion, no one is dying like an angel. You die, you're dead. No one's dying like an angel. Gosh, dying like an angel. Hello, Thunder Scorpion. Hello. Right. So you say she is a villain. Atheist Mo, how are you doing today? Thunder Scorpion, how are you? I hope you're well. Cooking. What are you cooking? Cooking, so we'll be in and out. Okay, that's fantastic. I mean, I'll be here. Just you can listen and cook for us too. Well, it depends on what you're cooking. She was evil. Hmm. 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 We will go and find out. We will go and find out. We will find out what this woman was all about, saint or villain. And cooking and listening. Hey, Coltastic, what are you all cooking? I didn't do any cooking today because I've been in and out. So we ordered some food. So no cooking today. Right. Who, this lady? Mm-mm-mm. Right, let's go and have a look exactly what Mother T was. Not a mother. She was evil. Well, I have my opinions. I have my thoughts about her, but I will not share them just yet until we go and see what people have to say. Then I will share my thoughts, what I truly think. And this idea of sending missionaries to countries that need help, it's time to start rethinking that. At what cost do you, what does your mission cost those people? What is the price that these people have to pay in order to receive your good work, your good gesture, your good you leave the comfort of your own home, you're going to go and do the Lord's work, but at what cost? Who is suffering? Imagine telling saying that the people she cares for, they live like animals but die like angels. Come on, man. Okay. Mm-mm. Die like angels. Right. So let's go check out. Hmm. Just 1 second. I'm just trying to get the video. No, that's not it. It's this one here. Mm-mm. Okay, let me share this here. Angels are not real. They are imaginary. Yes, atheismo. I agree. And the depiction of angels, what the Bible depicts angels as, It's nothing like what we see in our books and in pictures. Nothing like that. What they call angels look more like demons. Okay, all right, Atheist Mo, not to worry. Not to worry. So the title of this video says The Dark Side of Mother Teresa. Because, like it or not, our saint had a dark side to her. And she's not the only one. Most of these missionaries have a dark side to them. I'm not saying all of them, I'm saying some of them. Most. Because they think that they're working for an imaginary being. They think that they are working on behalf of this imaginary God. Why does God need these people when he can ensure that there is no poverty, that there is no one who needs the help of these people? It starts and ends with their God. Unfortunately, it starts and ends with their God. Okay, let's have a look.
They say to never meet your heroes, and in the Catholic Church, there's perhaps no greater hero than Mother Teresa. Born to humble origins, Mother Teresa would go on to establish schools for the poor, hospices for the terminally ill, colonies for lepers, and a global missionary group with a membership of over 4,000 nuns. But like so many of our heroes, Mother Teresa was not without controversy. The legacy of her charitable empire is forever linked to the decisions, relationships, and questionable motives that built it, proving once again that no one, not even a saint, is perfect. And even the Bible says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." Today, we're going to take a look at the dark side of Mother Teresa.
Let's do it. Let's do it. That church is huge
The
and
daughter of a
beautiful as
grocer,
well.
Agnes
Beautiful.
Gonja Boyajiu, was born in
Hey,
late
God
August of
bless Owen.
1910
Hello.
in Skopje,
Robin
Macedonia.
D. Phillips, hello.
She claims that she began to feel an important spiritual connection to God by age 12, and by 18, she joined the Sister
Sorry,
of
I don't want
Loreto,
us to
a
miss
group of
any of
Irish
this.
nuns spreading. Was
Okay,
born in
hang
late
on.
August
I
of 19.
think I've got this. Looks like I've got my. Okay, it's on normal. All right. I thought it sounded a bit too fast. Hello, Robin D. Phillips and Godless Sewing. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday. I don't want us to miss any of this.
Today, we're going to take a look at the dark side of Mother Teresa. The daughter of a grocer, Agnes Gonja Boyajiu, was born in late August of 1910 in Skopje, Macedonia. She claims that she began to feel an important spiritual connection to God by age 12, and by 18, she joined the Sister of Loreto, a group of Irish nuns spreading the word of God in India.
From the age of 12, someone says, I have a spiritual connection with God. A spiritual connection. Ask them to provide evidence of this spiritual connection. It's not enough now for people to say, I have a spiritual connection with God. Some delusional people are walking around with connections to God and doing evil in the name of this connection to said God. How are we going to verify? Anyone comes and tells you, I've got a connection to God. Hello? Can you show me proof? If they cannot show you proof, doubt everything you are told. Now, saying that, some people are actually convinced. They feel like something is talking to them, something is speaking to them at night, something is just pulling at their heartstrings. Oh, it must be God. Okay, I get that. years of seeing other people do it, years of, just watching people suffer, and you want to do something. So they automatically think that God is speaking to them. I get that. But instead of you saying it is a God, how about you say, I feel I want to do something. It's me. It's nothing to do with no. And if there is any God leading you, show us that evidence. Otherwise, you're just taking people at their words. No proof. And they go on to commit some deadly, evil atrocities. So take any claims of a God connection, you take that story with a grain of salt. No, pinch of salt. Grain of salt. Why do I always get that wrong? Already proselytizing at that age. Yes, that's the whole idea, cultastic. You start young. This the afterlife. There's promise in the afterlife of your reward. So the sooner you start, the better for you. The sooner you start gathering the what you call it now, the bringing in the ships, bringing in the ships, we shall come rejoicing, bringing in the ships, bringing in the ships, bringing in the ships. We shall come rejoicing, bringing in the ships. You need to bring them in. You need to bring, because every person you bring in, there's a reward waiting for you. So the sooner you start, the more reward you get up there. Can't believe I once believed these things. Okay, right, let's hear.
The name Theresa comes from Saint Therese of Lisieux, who was the patron saint of missionaries. Between 1931 and 1948, she taught at St. Mary's High School in Calcutta, which is now known as Kolkata. In 1948, she decided to work more directly with the city's poor and opened an open-air school for children in poverty.
Okay, let me just add this here. When I was still a church goer, we were taught in our church growing up that all Catholics were going to hell. All Catholics. Because they have the wrong version of Christianity. So even while I was a Christian, I would not have regarded Mother Teresa as a saint, because my version of Christianity taught me that the Catholics have it wrong. They pray through the mother of Jesus. They pray through a human. They're idolizing Mary. And because they idolize Mary, they have an automatic pass to hell. So I was a Christian, but we were told that all Catholics were going to hell, including Mother Teresa. Now I'm an atheist. I don't think that. I don't believe in hell. So no one is going to hell. Thank goodness for that.
In 1950, she created the Missionaries of Charity, whose purpose was to care for the sick and dying. Pope Pius XII gave the order canonical sanction in 1950, and by 1965, it was an official international religious family. Mother Teresa's order soon spread globally, creating centers to serve the disadvantaged, including the blind and elderly. What began as an order with only 12 followers, the Missionaries of Charity would eventually grow to about 5,600 members and hundreds of thousands of volunteers that help run the missionaries' orphanages, schools, homeless shelters, health clinics, and homes for the sick and dying around the world. Teresa also helped build a leper colony near Asansol, India, known as Shanti Nagar, or the Town of Peace. In 1952, she founded a hospice to take care of the terminally ill, called Nirmal Hriday, which means place for the pure of heart.
Hey, Soren, hello. Soren and Kant. Kant. Oh, when I saw you in the chat earlier, I saw your name. I just started laughing. Conthoven. No, Conthoven. You have a mission. You got an assignment to find out what's in the box. So I'm still waiting. Uh, Later on, when she's back home, go and find out. We need to know, because anything that can make someone come to Jesus, no, come to God, or come to the Father, we need it in our lives. We need that, whatever that thing in the box, whatever that thing is, we need it in our lives. So make sure to go and find out what was in the box. We need to go to God. We need to go to Jesus. Okay. Okay, this woman. Most of the pictures that I saw of this lady, just the people she cared for. Some of the pictures were very, very disturbing. Very disturbing.
Throughout her life, Mother Teresa amassed many awards, including the Magsaysay Award in 1962, the Peace Prize from Pope John XXIII in 1971, the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979, the Nehru Prize in 1972, the Balzan Prize in 1979, and the Templeton Award in 1973. She suffered a heart attack in 1989, which prompted her to attempt to resign as head of her order a year later. However, the rest of the order unanimously voted to keep her in place, with Mother Teresa's vote being the only nay. Despite that, she actually resigned soon after, when her heart condition failed to improve. She passed away on September 5, 1997. At the time of her death, the Missionaries of Charity boasted over 4,000 nuns, spread over 90 countries. She was such a highly regarded figure in the Catholic Church that only 2 years after her death was it proposed that she be canonized, meaning that the Catholic Church would officially recognize her as a saint. Pope John Paul II expedited the process, and by 2016, she was officially canonized by Pope Francis I. But despite the posthumous adoration from the Church, Mother
I was never Catholic. Never understood the doctrines of the Catholic Church, because, of course, they were going to hell. So I didn't care to know what on earth they believed. But I'm curious, though. What does it mean to be a saint after your death? What does that mean? What does it mean to be given this saintly position after your death? Does that mean that people on earth can give you a pass into heaven based on the work that you did? Is that what being a saint means? Well, after your death. Otherwise, it's just a load of rubbish. To make someone a saint after they're dead, they're dead. It's just a pile of rubbish. It means to just garner some fame, something. I don't know what. But making people saints after they're dead? So why not make them saints while they're still alive? Why wait until they're dead to then make them? I don't understand it. Guys, do any of you know what's this idea of being a saint? I know she was doing it until 20 minutes ago, so I thought. She was doing it. What was she doing? Can't hold me. What was she doing? What exactly was she doing? I know she was doing it until 20 minutes ago, so I thought I'd ask her. Now I could get an answer. It was strange. She was all hot and sweaty this early in the morning, and will do. Okay, all right. Tell us. Every time I hear canonized, I just picture they dig them up and load. Can't hold me. Come on. It says they dig them up and load them in a cannon and shoot them into the sun. Oh, that's a bit. I don't know. That's not what it's about. They make them saints after they're dead. So I think what that means is, so Mother Teresa was not made a saint until 2 years after she was dead. So for the first year and whenever before she was made a saint, maybe she was in purgatory, awaiting her fate, awaiting what's going to happen. But once they made her a saint, she must have said, "Whoo, yes, let me go and take my rightful place. Now I'm a saint." I don't know. I'm trying to work it out. Being a saint gives you first class heaven. Wait, heaven has class. Mhm. Heaven has class. So Mother Teresa would be in the first class. Right. Yeah, Doug, you used to be in the Catholic Church, so you would know. To be canonized into sainthood means that you have to have had to perform some sort of miracle and follow the path of Jesus. So she performed miracles and followed the path of Jesus. Okay, interesting. Hmm. Technically, saints are intercessors between us and God, as well as being role models in terms of their relationship with Him. It is all very convoluted because Catholics have to avoid accusations of idolatry. If that's not idolatry, I don't know what else is. If that is not idolatry, I don't know what else is. Let's start by the idolizing of Mary. If I remember correctly, Hail Mary, full of grace. No, Hail Mary, full of grace. Blessed art thou amongst women. No, I can't remember the Hail Mary prayer. I can't remember it now. Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with you. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now at the hour of our death. Did I do well? Gosh, that's been a long time. I think we were taught in school or something. I don't remember. Canonized simply means to be written into dogma. Okay, so you're drafted into the dogma. All right. She was what is called fast. Fast. They fast tracked her sainthood, as the process usually can take decades, if not. Wait, Soren. You're saying that someone can be made a saint a decade after they have died? So she was made a saint 2 years after she died. So hers was fast tracked because, of course, she did miracles and she followed in the path. Wait, but I thought everyone in the church is following the path of Jesus. What makes one special to another? What makes one more unique? Dog, I prefer my version. Okay. Wow. There's a great American stand up comedian named Kathleen Madigan who does a hilarious take on Catholic saints. Check her out. I need to check her out because this is getting interesting. I really have no clue about the Catholic doctrines. I think we might have to do a deep dive into Catholic doctrines. This is getting interesting. Wow, canonized people after they're dead, a decade after they're dead. Wow. This is this is divine. Okay, let's go and see another. All popes, all popes, for example, are instantly canonized. Oh, Oh, so all the popes, they get automatic canonization once conclave have chosen them. Right? Hey, conclave. Conclave, is that the people who come together to choose the pope? Is that what it's called, the conclave? To become a saint, they need to perform a miracle recognized by the guys. I listen. As we're saying all these things, I need you guys to start to just try and figure out, for someone who's never heard of this before, who's learning about this, coming to the knowledge of these things, and you start to work out that this is just absurd. This is absurd. How do people believe these kind of things? How? I think I'm starting to work out why some Christians will say Catholics are not Christians. Because some of the things they do and believe. Wow. Conclave is the black and white smoke. Okay. There's a lot to learn, man. Okay. Let's go and see our dear saints in heaven.
Mother Teresa was not without her controversies. According to an academic Canadian study, Mother Teresa had a rather dubious way of caring for the sick, questionable political contacts, and suspicious management of enormous sums of money she received. In addition, there are allegedly multiple accounts that she would baptize the dying without their consent. Some of the earlier, more well-known criticism of Mother Teresa came
Baptizing the dying without their consent. Wait. This saint would baptize the dying without their consent. And yet she's been canonized as a saint. Come on. This is appalling. No, this is wrong. Wrong on so many levels. Why would you? That's wrong. I mean, I think about the hospital around the corner from me. I think of the staff there. Imagine if a staff went there and tried to baptize someone before they pass. Not only will they lose their license to practice, they will lose their job. And they probably would have to face a panel or something. But in some places, they canonize people like that. Wow.
from a 1994 documentary titled Hell's Angel. The documentary, which received significant funding from Arup Chatterjee, a former worker of one of Mother Teresa's homes, included criticism of the sanitation of her missionaries, which Chatterjee compared to a Nazi concentration camp. According to a volunteer from one of Teresa's hospices, Mother Teresa ignored many common sanitation protocols, including not boiling water and sterilizing it, and using needles repeatedly.
Wait. No, this is now where this is now becoming a real just Soren. How do you wait? How do you demote a saint? Soren, please help me. How do you demote someone who's already been sainted? How do you then turn around and demote that? How does that work? What did the person do that would make you? Because if they're dead, they're dead. Or maybe they find out something. I don't know. Gosh. I think that after they die, miracle has to be done in that dead person's name. Guys, no. Wait, Robin. Are you saying that this miracle that makes them canonized is after the miracle happens, after, has to be attributed to the dead person? Guys, this is worse than I thought. I thought she did miracles before. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, God, God. No, no. She was a vile old hag, Teresa was. Check the missionary missionary position. Mother Teresa in theory and practice by Hitchens. Oh my goodness, what have we got here? Oh, I swapped to this account, so no, my K. Oh, I swapped to this account, so no, my KH. What does that mean? I swapped to this account. Oh no, my KH. Am I the only one thinking baptize the dying? Shows her holding them underwater until they drown. Beamsy, I think she thought she was doing a good deed. I think she thought that whatever she was doing was giving them a pass into heaven. That's what I think. But that's just wrong on so many levels. If the person has not chosen to be baptized, you have no right to baptize, and I don't care who you are. You never do something like that without the consent of whether they're dying or not. How about respect the dying? When you work in a hospital, there's what they call um gosh, I've forgotten it now what they call it. The how to care for someone who is dying. You provide them dignity. You make their life as comfortable as possible until their very last hour, their very last second. If you can be there to hold their hand while they pass on, you do it. Even after they have passed on, you talk to them as if they're still in the room while you're cleaning them, while you're preparing them for the mortuary staff to come and get. I've been there when a dead person was being cared for. My very first, I still remember how awkward that was. Talking to a dead person, and they said, "We have to do it. Even in their death, we've got to respect them as if they're still here." And someone will come and baptize someone who is dying. This is wrong. This is wrong on so many levels. Hey, Paul Schatler, Bimsy, I am cunt. Bimsy is cunt. Oh, I'm looking around and it says on the Catholic Church homepage that she was the first. Oh gosh, this is wrong. So there are 41. Are you saying that there are 41 saints, womanly saints? I stand to be corrected, but living here, I stand to be corrected, but living here. That's what I saw when the local news would report it. So this miracle has to be done after they're dead. Guys, there's something wrong with, you see, all of this from start to finish. There's just everything wrong with this. Wow, she canonized 1,622. So you're telling me that those are the number of people that she. No, wait. Theresa of Avila canonized. Fast wiki search. What does that mean? Did she baptize or canonize? Okay, let's carry on. This is wrong. And if you're Catholic, you're here and listening to this and you're thinking, how dare you talk about my church? Oh, my Catholic. Listen, you better learn some lessons. This is wrong. This is wrong. On so many levels, it is. Wow. Hell's Angels.
Of Mother Teresa came from a 1994 documentary titled Hell's Angel. The documentary, which received significant funding from Arup Chatterjee, a former worker of one of Mother Teresa's homes, included criticism.
Guys, guys, please have a look at the people. Have a look. Wait, let me just have a look at the conditions. Hey, Guys, have a look at the people.
Of the sanitation of her missionary.
Just have a look, guys. Look at this. These are the people she cared for. This is heartbreaking, guys. I don't know if they came to her like this or she's trying to get them recuperated or what. But even then, you think about hospitals here. You can't see people like this. Think about hospitals in Africa that I've been to. I've never seen people like this. Or is this done deliberately to try and make them not survive? So they can be baptized on their way out. They don't even have beddings. No, the mattress. Ah. And this woman was given millions and millions. Millions and millions. This is where the whole idea of missionaries becomes problematic. People send money from the goodness of their heart. Oh, I'm doing a good deed. You send money to these charities, the ones that are doing it in the name of God. Meanwhile, the money is not getting to the people who it is assigned for. It's going elsewhere. I mean, look at this.
Which Chatterjee compared to a Nazi concentration camp. According to a volunteer from one of Theresa's hospices, Mother Teresa ignored many common sanitation protocols, including not boiling water and sterilizing it, and using needles repeatedly, rather than sanitarily disposing of them. When asked,
Am I aware that G-Man responded to me? Yes, I am. I am aware. I'm going to do a review of that video. It's just G-Man is just the list of my stupid whore energy this week. Sometime this week, I shall do a review of that. Guys, did you hear that? Mother Teresa was reusing needles. Lord, have mercy. Okay, guys, listen. I will not sit here. I will not sit here and pretend that these things don't happen. I know these things happen. But for someone who received millions for the work that she did, there are no excuses. She had the money to do it. I can understand if it's a very poor community, a very poor hospital. I'm not saying that the practice is good. No, it is not. Under no circumstance should you reuse needles. But for people who have money, millions for that matter, there are no excuses. I'm sorry. Wow.
why they wouldn't at least sterilize the water used to wash the needles, she reportedly responded with, "There's no point." This feeds into the claim.
This woman said there's no point in doing so. She was on a death mission, unfortunately. This was a death mission. Wow. She said there is no need. This is just a death. The people that went to Mother Teresa, gosh, I really don't want to say what I feel like saying.
Claim from Hell's Angel that Theresa takes advantage of the
Why why is it that all the people she cared for look so emaciated? What is going on here? All the pictures I've seen, these people look so. Look at this child. Oh my god. Let's see. I think I've got my subtitles on. Oh no, this is not good. Is this a child or a woman or what? And Mother Teresa would take pictures. This is bad.
The poor and terminally ill for opportunities to showcase compassion rather than a desire to help care for them. These claims are supported by similar reports from Hemley Gonzalez, who had also volunteered at one of Teresa's hospices. He claims to have noticed that the volunteers were not vetted, trained, or required to have medical experience, going as far as saying that nobody there was a medically trained physician or nurse. He witnessed nuns reusing needles after only washing them in tap water. He saw nuns wash clothes covered in urine and feces right next to silverware. He even offered to install a water heater because he observed patients bathing in freezing water, or other services to improve overall conditions, but he was told by the nuns that we don't do that here. This is the way Jesus wants it. These conditions weren't for
This is the way Jesus wants it. You see the problem? When someone says, "Oh, if God was to show himself to you, would you believe?" It's not a matter of believing, it's a matter of asking him questions. If Jesus truly exists, or God truly exists, you you really tell me that this deity sits there and watch this happen in his name.
lack of funding. Mother Teresa brought in roughly $30 million a year through donations, yet very little of that cash
Gosh, this is worse than I thought. $30 million a year. And those people looked, no. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm just very, tonight, this is, uh, $30 million a year. This woman. Oh my God.
funding. Mother Teresa brought in roughly $30 million a year through donations, yet very little of that cash resulted in improvements in the quality of care across her hospices. A senior nun at her order reported nuns were reusing needles despite the vast sum of money in the bank. Hell's Angel host, known atheist Christopher Hitchens, was later quoted in the New York Times as saying that Mother Teresa was less interested in helping the poor than using them as an indefatigable source of wretchedness on which to fuel the expansion of her fundamentalist Roman Catholic beliefs. Teresa supposedly would even tell patients that there is piety in pain, rather than attempting to help treat the pain. This supports the reputation she earned that she would glorify human suffering.
There's piety in pain. That's the Christian, that's just summarizes the Christian doctrine. It's all about suffering. It's all about just accepting that life doesn't have to be good here on earth because it gets better in the afterlife. In fact, I think some of the beatitudes, if I remember correctly, blessed are the blessed are the poor in spirit, for this is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, for his name's sake. I can't remember the Beatitudes no more. I used to be able to say all of the Beatitudes. Hello, Beach. No, no. Oh, yeah, Beach is here. Hello, Beach. Hello, B. B and Beach. Mother Teresa's mother. Can you imagine this woman? Jumba, how you doing? Guys, this is just appalling. You don't need a hospital. We have hospital at home. Hospital at home. Was the boy she let die covered yet? She said if she sent him to the hospital, she would have to do that for all of them. Really? No, we haven't done that bit. No. Oh my goodness. Guys, to be honest with you, this live stream, um, because we did a video day before yesterday about missions in Africa, I thought, okay, let's do. I did not know that this was this bad. I never really cared to know about Mother Teresa. I just know, okay, she was a saint, she was a good woman, and all these things. I did not know. I know I've heard Christopher Hitchens, a few things he had to say, but this was going back a while now. So I did not know that it really, really was this bad. Mm-mm. No, this is not good. I'm so sorry. Whatever position she's been given in this life, afterlife, she needs to be stripped of it. She needs to be stripped of it. No, this is not good. Richard, hello. You just got a copyright strike. Did I? A copyright strike. How do you know that? Here we go. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me have a quick look. Quick look at something. I'll stop this video then and go and stop this video and go and I don't know. Okay, guys, just hold on. Let me stop this one. And oh, okay. All right, all right. I'll stop this one. Let's stop this one. I've got quite a few of the videos lined up because I was expecting something like that will happen. But still happening. No. I think with copyright, what happens is they'll send you an email saying that the um you don't get like a strike sort of thing. Let's go and find another video. There's tons of them. God, this is just sorry guys. This is painful. Just 1 second. We've got another video here. Let's see. Can you guys still see me? Please let me know if you can still see me. Right, share. Okay.
Mother Teresa, or should we now say Saint Teresa of Calcutta, for decades was seen on TV screens around the world, tending what she called the poorest of the poor. From San Francisco to Sydney, people's eyes filled with tears as the wizened old woman held infants in her arms and proclaimed that through the power of God Almighty, she would address the many wrongs of this world and help millions whose lives had been blighted by poverty. And yet for some, their eyes only glistened with anger. Their hearts were filled only with the beat of injustice, as they saw only too clearly a dark shadow cast by a woman who was far from the angel of the gutter she was said to be. Today, we present the ugly truth. We imagine that the introduction has already nettled a few of our viewers who could and still cannot see anything like a dark side to the person who is called the patron saint of missionaries. Maybe they're well aware that this woman was outspoken about abject poverty that certain residents of India were faced with back in the day. They can recall the devastation of the 1943 famine and how millions died of starvation and disease. This was a woman who, in the name
Ah.
of God, promised to live among the poor.
Oh, is that why most of the people were so emaciated? I think that's why. Okay, Druid Lover. Hello, Druid Lover. Hello, hello. Okay, it's working. All right, good. Okay, yes, it is the infographics show. Yeah. So what will happen afterwards when I'm done? YouTube will let me know that I've got copyrighted material on my stream between this point to this point. They'll ask you, do you want to remove that content or leave it on there? If you leave it on there, if you're monetized, whatever money you make from that material will go to, I think that's how it works. But it's not, you don't get a, I, I don't know. I really don't know. Anyways, let's carry on. You see, that's why those people were so emaciated, because there was a famine in the land in India during that time, I think. But whatever the case, Mother Teresa raking in $30 million a year, and still would wash needles and reuse needles from patient to patient.
Or and never falter from that path. Like a martyr, she would suffer her own series of illnesses, and yet she would never turn her back on the slums. Through her missions of charity, she would tend to the people whose home was the streets and whose daily bread were the scraps people threw away. She would hold out a hand to the blind, to the lepers, and to the people that society had, for the most part, made pariahs. And it's true, we don't question it, and she and her fellow missionaries held their arms out to the poor. They did indeed offer succor to the people on the edge who felt helpless and lost. For those in the last throes of life, besieged by diseases such as HIV and tuberculosis, Mother Teresa and her sisters opened their home. For those at the start of life but without parents to care for them, she built much needed orphanages. In her own words, Mother Teresa said with her unlimited love, she would make it her life's work to protect the hungry, the naked, the homeless, the crippled, the blind, the lepers, all those people who feel unwanted, unloved, uncared for throughout society, people that have become a burden to the society and are shunned by everyone. Maybe some of you are now thinking, infographic show. You're sure walking on thin ice if you're going to start throwing digs at the paragon of human virtue. We're not even done. Theresa and her sisters, with the help of funding on tap, opened hospices and orphanages and more all over the world. By the time she was done, her missionaries of charity consisted of 4,000 sisters and 300 brothers doing good at 610 missionaries that covered much of the globe. They were helped by over 1 million workers who did anything from giving hope to orphans to handing out free soup to the homeless. So, really, why should such an apogee of humanity have to take any flack? Let us now transform into the devil's advocate. As all you viewers will know, nothing in this life is cut and dried. Every story has countless other narratives running through the main narrative. Or, as we're told when we're children, there are always two sides to every story. One of the first people to start talking about chinks in Mother Teresa's gilded armor was the critic Christopher Hitchens. In fact, while she was still alive, he co-wrote and hosted a documentary called Hell's Angel. Soon after that, he wrote a book, The Missionary.
Listen, that man, Christopher Hitchens, if there is a heaven, if there is a heaven, it should be in that place. Front row seat. This man did not wait until she's dead to start speaking. While she was still alive, he said, no, this woman is not everything she's made out to be. There are things that are not, that we're not being told of what's going on. He faced a lot of criticism, but he still stood for the truth. I know he had his ways about him that a lot of people didn't quite like, because he was quite brutal. He took no prisoners. He will tell you as it is. And people don't like that. They want you to, just be soft on them, even when they're doing wrong. Oh, you've got to be, really kind. Oh, just you could do it this way. You could. They don't want you being brutally honest with them. No, he faced a lot of criticism, but even in the face of criticism, he still spoke the truth about what this woman was getting. There really are no excuses. This is the trouble, in my opinion, with missionary work. These people go to these places. They are they claim to be doing the Lord's work. They wipe out entire cultures, telling the people there, oh, my Jesus is better than your Shango, your Orisha, your deities. Turns out they're all one and the same. And then these people get rid of the things that they've known for all however long, and take on the missionaries' own God. They even come with the pictures of Jesus. They show the people there that this is what Jesus looks like. Receive this man. They got pictures. The missionaries will come with photos of Jesus. Take him as your Lord and Savior. He will save you. And make them burn that.
Position. Mother Teresa in theory and practice. This man certainly had a bee in his bonnet when it came to the Lady of Light. The overarching critique is that Mother Teresa and her sisters received millions upon millions of dollars to do God's work and didn't do a very good job. It's important to say God's work and not just volunteer work. In fact, many people criticized her charities, saying that even with untold millions, they were run by people who could not provide adequate care. Pain relief was seldom given to anyone, and professional medical personnel were not often seen in the thrum of volunteers who didn't really know what they were doing. Still, for the public in the West who watched her on TV, they only saw a saint. For those who donated money, it was like doing good in the eyes of God. That can, of course, have certain benefits come Judgment Day. You see, during the medieval period, there was something called indulgences. In short, a person could buy their way out of hell, or at least get a few of their sins scratched off of God's ethereal chalkboard. Critics believed Mother Teresa was selling indulgences, and to them,
Okay. Now, this right here is the problem with religion. One denomination of Christianity believe in a different thing. The other denomination says, no, we don't believe in that. So we're going off to go and start off our own version of Christianity. So we are right and you're wrong. Those ones would say, we're right, you're wrong. Everyone just, and that's how Christianity has become the mess that it is today. Everyone thinks that their version of Christianity is right and the others are wrong. Now, there's such a thing called indulgences. You can buy your way into heaven. You can buy your way into heaven. When I tell you that Christianity is a mess, believe you me, I don't think they preach this anymore. I don't think this is a part of their doctrines. Just like what's it called? Purgatory. I don't think they really talk much about purgatory anymore. So Mother Teresa was collecting money in the hopes of making these people buy their way to heaven. It's wrong on so many levels.
it was kind of a con. Here's what Hitchens said about that. This returns us to the medieval corruption of the church, which sold indulgences to the rich while preaching hellfire and confidence to the poor. Mother Teresa was not a friend of the poor. She was a friend of poverty. She said that suffering was a gift from God.
Mother Teresa was not. Let me take that back. Mother Teresa was not a friend of the poor. She was a friend of poverty. She said that suffering was a gift from God. Oh, gosh, I don't know. Guys, suffering is a gift from God. That's Christianity in a nutshell. Story that hurt me was that of a young boy who needed surgery to save his life, and she wouldn't send him to hospital. She let him die. So, Beach, if she let him die and she had the means to save his life, but she let him die, what would that make her? If someone was dying and you have the means to stop them dying, but you do nothing and let them die, what does that make you? Purgatory is still there. It's limbo. The church had kind of shoved it into so they still believe in purgatory. Mm-mm. Suffering isn't a gift. It's a pain in the whatever part of your body happens to be suffering. Exactly so. Any God that makes you suffer for him is not a good God. Is not a loving God. Any God that tells you you've got to suffer by being my child, poverty comes as part of the deal. Not poverty, sorry, suffering comes as part of the deal. That God has a questionable character. Complicit, that's the word. So Mother Teresa was complicit in that boy's death. Yet, Dumver, she has been canonized by the church. She's now a saint. She was complicit in the death of that young child. But guess what the church have done? They've made her a saint. Congratulations. Gosh. Not saving someone when you could might be acceptance of another's dharma and evidence they are Buddhists. Really? Is that what Buddhists believe? Not saving someone when you might. Interesting. Gosh.
A gift from God. Hitchens said he once got to talk with her face to face, and she told him outright that she wasn't trying to get rid of poverty, that she was certainly not a social worker. Her mission was to create more Catholics in the world and expand the Catholic Church. He and others argued that
her mission was to expand the Catholic Church and to create more Catholics in the world. So forget all that helping the sick, the poor, and all these things. Health. Scrap that. Her mission was to Catholicize the world, make Catholics of these people, plant Catholic churches.
she was never going to try to fix poverty or lessen some of the pains that came with it. How could she be? They said her facilities were badly run, and they did not focus on methods of poverty reduction in terms of education or empowerment of women. In 2010, long after the so-called Angel of Mercy had passed away, a writer from Forbes visited one of the missions of charity and said what she found were volunteers and other people questioning what exactly was going on down there. The article said those places had always been resistant to change, and things had been done the way Mother Teresa wanted them done, which was most of the time volunteers doing jobs that they were not trained to do. The writer said, missionaries has always kept change at bay. But in a world where it is very difficult to hide behind secrecy, the number of disillusioned followers is increasing. She interviewed one of those volunteers, a guy from the United States, who went over to India.
The problem with religion is they do not like change. That's the problem with religion. A book that is thousands of years old. In 2021, 2022, it's no longer fit for purpose. But there's no one to review. There's no one to update. Because no, we've got to hold on to our ancient books, even though these books are no longer relevant to this generation, this day and age. Because God said it in the book, we've got to preserve what's not relevant to our society anymore. So long after Mother Teresa had died and gone, they still were sticking to her the way she did things. They were still doing it that way. See the problem with religion when you regard people so highly. I don't know. I don't do all this worship of people. Oh, this person is all saintly and revere this person. Oh, I don't, because to me, we're all humans. We're all infallible. We all have things within us that So to worship someone, I get it. Some people, they're in high, or they're in authority, and high positions. But hey, they're people just like you and me. So when you worship, you take your pastor as and your priests, your reverend fathers, reverend mothers, reverend all these people. You treat them like they're demigods. No one can talk to them. No one can. When they do wrong, we just still go on pretending like they haven't done any wrong. It's crazy. Dr. Cyrus, hello. Can you believe we have birthdays coming up again? Where does it? Whose birthday? Oh, brothers are in the chat. We've got B and Richard. Two brothers in the chat. I love this. Whose birthday is it? So we can sing happy birthday. Whose birthday is it? Is it B's birthday or is it Richard's birthday? Whose birthday is it? So we can sing happy birthday.
To do some good. It should be mentioned here that the volunteers don't get any say in the running of the places, nor do they have any idea about all the money coming in and where it goes. This particular volunteer expressed surprise at what he first discovered over the first few days. In his own words, he said, "I was shocked to see negligence. Needles were washed in cold water and reused, and expired medicines were given to the inmates. There were people who had a chance to live if given proper care." So again, people have asked about how so much cash can do so little. But that volunteer said in no time at all he witnessed someone needlessly dying. He said another volunteer, without any medical training, had tried to feed a paralyzed person, but he did it wrong and that person died. He said he also saw someone having a toe amputated and not being given any kind of anesthetic. Yet another volunteer said she saw in one facility syringes run under cold water and reused, aspirin given to those with terminal cancer, and cold baths given to everyone. Mother Teresa allowed no criticism of such practices. People countered such criticism, saying, "Hey, these places are the home to the sick, the poor, the dying. They're not a hospital." Okay, state the naysayers, fine, but why not offer some real medical expertise with all that cash? As you'll soon see, the money donated was not exactly pennies. And what about the ones who recovered? Surely there should be some sort of rehabilitation going on to help them when they're ready to leave. One European volunteer said sometimes people left of their own accord, but other times they were forced back into the streets with no help or guidance as to how to survive. For that reason, they might soon be back. In this respect, it almost sounds like the prison system in many countries and their revolving doors. Some of them would rather not have empty beds. In the world of perpetual poverty, there's the term the charitable industrial complex. Mother Teresa had been accused of being part of that, perhaps even a lodestone. That same volunteer we just mentioned said one woman was very sick with diabetes, and then she was gone. The sister said she'd been placed in another facility, but a few days later, the volunteer saw her back on the streets. Still, she couldn't walk right. There are numerous reports of money being donated to certain missionaries of charity facilities, but not much of that money being seen. A German report going all the way back to 1991 said that...
Guys, where do you think that money was going? Where do you think all those millions were going, Soren? Hey, Esther, you're so fun. You blow my mind. Hey, Esther, Hey, Esther. Hey, Soren. Whose birthday is it?
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Who's talking to Siri? Soren says, my birthday was on 8th. He said, oh, it was your birthday. Why didn't you tell us? It flies. I mean, screw birthdays. They just remind me how old I am. Yes, we're getting old, aren't we, B? His is in May and yours is in June. Okay, so next month and the month after, coming very soon. Gosh, our grey hairs are they're doubling. Those grey hairs. Thumbs up for the beautiful, amazing host. Oh, thank you. Neither one just yet. Okay. So Soren, it was your birthday. Right, all right. We need to sing happy birthday. Happy belated birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Soren. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hip, hip, hip. Hooray. Even though it's been, let's see, it was the 23rd, wasn't it? 80th day was on the 23rd. So it's been over a week now. Cut your grey hair off. B, you can tell me again. The grey hairs, they're not going anywhere. You cut them off, they'll be right back. They're coming back. Even if you dye them, they're coming back. It's something it's part of living. Yes, Dr. Cyrus, thank you. Guys, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe, do all that. Yes. Okay, let's carry. This video is nearly done, so we can. What sweet voice from a sweet person. Oh, thank you. Sang along beach. Hey. So we have to do when it's your birthday and we're on stream, we have to sing happy birthday to you. Absolutely.
Only 7% of the donated cash actually appeared at the place it was donated to.
Only
okay,
7%.
So where is that missing money? No one knows, but Forbes points out that it's controlled by the Vatican now that Mother Teresa is resting in peace. One of the people who should know is...
Here we go. I heard someone say that if you liquidize the assets of the Catholic Church, you can end hunger in the world just by liquidizing all the assets that the Catholic Church own. But the people in the Vatican, these people have dedicated their lives to serving God. Why do they need all this money? Why do you're not taking this money anywhere with you? Most of them don't have families, because I think they're all the women are called nuns, and the men are what do you call the men? What do you call men that have chosen to serve God and not get married, not have sex, and not, I think they're called eunuchs. Yeah, I think they're called eunuchs. If they've chosen that path, what do they need money for then? Why do they need to control such large amounts of money? Fun fact. Theresa was canonized into sainthood by the Pope Francis on September 4 because the church loved her for the terrors and horrors she inflicted on people needing medical attention. Child molesters. No, not child molesters. Eunuchs. I own mine. I earn everything. Exactly. Proud of your grey hairs. Absolutely. Can you imagine? This is just sickening. This is absolutely sickening. And then you find Catholics will come and say, "Oh, don't speak about my church, my Catholic. We have the Catholic is the way to Christianity. That's the way to do Christianity." Then they will ignore all the bad things in their religion. They completely ignore that. Doesn't exist as far as they're concerned. Oh, eunuchs actually go through the. Do they now, Soren? They go through the deballing. What do you mean deballing? Soren, what does deballing mean? Do they chop it off or what? Gosh, there's so much to discover. Do they chop off their parts or deballing? How do you deball? Okay, let's finish this video. You deball. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Deballing.
As well as anyone about what Mother Teresa did was Dr. Arup Chatterjee. He grew up in Calcutta, and while studying to be a doctor, was one of the few voices shouting about the terrible state of the poor. He did this shouting from the slums. He later went over to the UK, where he said he was shocked by the British adulation of Mother Teresa. She was indeed portrayed as a saint, although when he was campaigning in the slums back in India, he said he never saw any of the sisters. He later wrote about what he called a cult of suffering, and spent much of his time trying to understand how, if at all, Mother Teresa and her gang of sisterly angels were helping the poor. He spoke with many, many people who worked closely with the sisters, which concluded with him writing a book, Mother Teresa, the
I think it's a great idea. House sitters get somewhere to stay, and we, the house owners, get someone to look after our home and our animals. And
it makes it a very equal.
final verdict. Maybe some people don't trust his verdict, but he was arguably in a very good position to deliver one. In an interview, he said, "I spent months in libraries in London. I also traveled the world researching it. I followed slum dwellers, beggars, destitute children with a video camera. I interviewed hundreds of people. I stood with a video camera outside Teresa's home for hours." And his verdict was, Mother Teresa, or the idea of her great, brilliant, immutable goddess, was bogus. He talked about the sorry state of the facilities he visited, the lack of hygiene, the needless deaths, and of course the baptisms that were given to people on their deathbeds without their consent. Even worse, he said when Mother Teresa claimed her Nobel Peace Prize, she was quick to state how she'd saved the lives of tens of thousands of people in India. Well, after Chatterjee did his research, he said you could possibly give her the number 700, which isn't a lot, considering the many, many millions of dollars she received. His research also found that in Calcutta, the Missionaries of Charity was giving very little help in terms of food and water compared to most other charities. In some countries, help was hardly given at all, and conversion to Christianity was what was really going on.
Senator
But
Cato.
the media loved her, of course. Many of you were likely not alive when she was, but rest assured she was hardly ever off the TV. Politicians could get brownie points for shaking her hand, while fraudsters, dictators, and other very bad people were only too happy to appear on with her before the flashing cameras. Speaking of politicians, Bill Clinton made her an honorary citizen of the U.S. because she showed how we can make real our dreams for a just and
This woman was made an honorary citizen. You know, why are people so quick to just they see someone doing something, just quick, let's go attach our name to it. Let's go and attach our country to it. We want her here. We want her in our. They only see what the news portray. They don't exercise critical thinking. Let's jump on the bandwagon. This woman is destroying lives. But hey, we will canonize her. We will make her a saint. We'll give her money. We will make her an honorary citizen of the God's own country. The people who gave her this honorary thing should be ashamed of themselves. I hope in hindsight that they will do better when they see what politics and these people. I don't expect better from them. You just it's all a game for most of these people. They don't really care about the people who suffer in the hands of these missionaries. They just want to attach their names to these missionaries. Just attach. Oh, I was there. I held her hand. I did this. I did that. But we don't care to know what they do with the money we give them. The money is being controlled by the Vatican. What the Vatican needs the money for, I really don't know. Guys, what do you reckon the Vatican do with all this money? I'm just curious, guys. What are your thoughts? What do you think goes on with all these millions that go to the Vatican? What do you reckon they do with this money? Politicians publicly praised Saint Mother Teresa because it helped them win. So it was about votes from the Catholic demographics. I doubt most politicians actually believed she was a good person. So a lot of them just, would put up a front, hold her hand, but behind they know different. It's a shame, man. It is a shame, and that's why I appreciate the work of what's his name, Christopher Hitchens. He did not try to sugarcoat it. He was speaking. He even did a documentary, Hell's Angel. Oh, he came against a lot of criticism. But he still stood. He still today. We're still reviewing. We're still watching Christopher Hitchens' doc. Oh, if there's a heaven, if there is a heaven, that man should be granted a one-way pass to heaven. Hey, James Apperson, hello. A psychopath, literally. You can say that again. My last video, the last video on my channel, which I did, of these two missionaries in Nigeria, one of the poorest communities in that country, maybe in the entire world. These people have to go on boats to go and preach this gospel they claim to be preaching. And they say that the people there have got the wrong version of Christianity, that people should pray to God to send workers of this vineyard. So God should send the ones with the true gospel of Christ from the US of A, from the West, who've got it all good in the comfort of their own homes. They've got healthcare, they've got everything going for them, but they've got the right version of Christianity. They're going to heaven, these ones here. But you see these other ones here, if we don't go and save them, if we don't go and be the what you call it now, knights in shining armor for them, they're going to perish in hell. So who in Christianity is preaching the true gospel of your Jesus Christ? Which one of you? And anyone that says people can you imagine? One of those men said that it would be a shame after they've gone through such hardship and poverty that they will go in the afterlife and still have worse than what they have on earth. I mean, the idea that you would look at people who are suffering and say to them that in your afterlife, you're going to suffer even more. I mean, you have to think the insensitivity of Christianity. They put themselves on this high and mighty, they place themselves high and mighty. I'm saved and you're not. I'm good and you're bad. I'm righteous and you're of the darkness. It's crazy, guys. All the Christian and Islamic sects are mafias. The way they spread and their reasoning for existing. Exactly. You go to play, P. What's up? Hello. We'll have to pass the smoke and listen. The smoke and drink. Smoking and drinking. Who is he hurting? Okay. Let me take that back. when you do things in excess, you hurt the people around you. It's the people around you that end up suffering. And of course, I don't know if the smoking and drinking added to his his sickness being terminal. We still needed him around. Ugh. So, guys, if any of you have the tenacity, if any of you have the courage to be, I'm not saying to be exactly like Christopher Hitchens. You've got to be yourself. But if any of you, if you see anything, what's going wrong, if you see people taking advantage of the poor, the vulnerable, taking advantage of women, children, speak up. Speak up. That's our duty to do. Don't wait for this deity to step in. He does nothing. He sits there and watches all these evil things happen to people. It's people like you and me who need to do something, say something. Like I read somewhere, no one's coming to save you. Save yourself. You vote villain. I do too, Senator Cato. Same here. Good night. Oh, someone's going to sleep. Okay, good night, Unit 666. Not to mention all the priceless work of art possessed by what are they doing with this? What are they doing with it? What are they storing up treasure in the Vatican? I thought you're supposed to store up treasure in heaven and not in the Vatican. It's just twisted, sick people.
In good society, everyone wanted a piece of her. It was as if she had received a television canonization, which Chatterjee ascribes mostly to the US media. This was happening, he says, while the most vulnerable people in India were still not getting the help they needed. The New York Times caught up with him fairly recently, and for the most part, he said what we have already told you, minus the blanket stained with feces washed in the same sink used to clean dishes. He said, at least nowadays, the missionaries of charity do have medical professionals that come in, and when things are bad for people, they're taken to a hospital. Back in the day, he said he struggled to explain the myth of her to the people of Calcutta. They weren't interested when he expressed that the miracles people claimed she performed were perhaps not miracles at all. He wasn't exactly popular for his opinions. Mother Teresa was finally made a saint in 2016 for allegedly healing a man with a brain tumor. Thousands upon thousands of people around the world wept tears of joy. Chatterjee's contention that this was more hocus pocus and fell on many deaf ears in the West. He concluded his chat with the Times saying, they don't care about whether a third world city's dignity or prestige has been hampered by an Albanian nun. So obviously, they may be interested in the lies and the charlatans and the fraud that's going on, but the whole story, they're not interested in. On top of all of this, she was known to move with some very sketchy people, including neo-fascists in Italy and a dictatorship in Argentina whose members were later convicted of genocide and other crimes against humanity. Her friend in Haiti, Jean-Claude Duvalier, was accused of torture and genocide. She received millions from fraudster Charles Keating and flew on his private jet. In the US, this humble, modest woman only got the best medical treatment that wealthy people can buy. Support was never a bad thing for her, of course. One investigation found that the Vatican Bank, aka the Institute for the Works of Religion, had one mammoth account in her name. It said that the account was worth billions, and had she one day just decided to make equally mammoth withdrawals, the bank would have been on its knees. If that's not enough to suspend us on this thin ice we're skating on, she was also called a racist.
Oh, here we go.
Actually, a white savior.
Okay, I did not know this at all about this. Oh my goodness. She was called racist. Or she was racist? Oh man. Now this is going to really, really upset me. So on top of everything, she was racist. Let's go here. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is, I say a lot, but no one hears me. My social media and my blog is a ghost town with tumbleweeds, talking only to myself. So I just try to be supportive of others. James Apperson. Where is it that you're saying this? You say your social media. Which social media? Which blog? That's the best that we can do is to advertise each other. Otherwise, you have to pay money. Someone came in my inbox, my email, because it's attached to my YouTube, and they said, "Oh, I'm a graphics design something something, and that your channel should be getting more views. We can promote you." They showed me a diagram that you have this number of viewers, but only 6 people commenting. We can help you broadcast this, that. I said, how much? I think he was saying every week. I think weekly is about, I don't remember now, but monthly is about $500. So I should give you $500 to promote my channel. $500 I don't have to promote my. I just ignored the person. And even if I'm not here for that. I'm really not here for that. I've met some decent people. Okay, on Wednesday, all right. Open mic. Okay, we will listen. Exactly. That's how the word gets out. James Apperson, if you can can you put the link to, can we put the link to B's channel here? That's how it gets out. We need to advertise. Atheists, we need to, not just atheists, well, if you're a humanist, if you're someone who has a heart for the people, this is what we need to do. We need to get the word out. These people thrive because these evil people thrive because no one does anything. And the people who are saying something, they just hush. They try to hush you up. They try to make you the villain because you dare to say something. Exactly. Yes. Let us promote, and let's this is how we need to do it. You don't have to pay anyone to advertise. Look, if you're an atheist channel and you're paying people, then you've got to really ask yourself if you're doing it for the right purposes. If you're an atheist channel and you have to pay to advertise yourself, guys, what do you think? Do you think, I don't know, I just think it's all about getting people to see other worldviews, to see other perspectives. Everything should not be about money. I know we need money. We all do need money. But I don't know. That's just my philosophy. Randolph, oh gosh. Randolph, how many hours was that show today? The last one, I think it went on for about 7 hours and still no proof, no evidence for God. How many hours did you guys do today? And I bet there was no evidence for God still. Yes, that's how we do it. Thank you, Senator Cato. That's how we do it. YouTube, it's word of mouth. It's slowly gets out. You come on someone else's channel. That's why when someone calls me, do you want to come on my channel? I say, yes, I'll come. I just get myself ready to go on there and speak, because otherwise you just sit in your corner of YouTube and no one knows about you. Your blog is just sitting there, no one sees it because no one is talking about it. We need to use I remember when I just started YouTube and met Randolph, 5 hours, 15 minutes. I remember when I first started YouTube, I met Randolph. Randolph said something to me which touched my heart. Randolph said he's going to put my channel on the atheist, Canadian Atheist Network. I forgot what did you call it, Randolph? You called it something. I was sitting there thinking, really, what have I done to deserve this? Because I have a channel, And you will advertise my channel for nothing. He just he says, I'm going to put your channel on the Canadian Atheist Network where everyone can. I think he even sent me a link to the website so I can see myself advertising. I'm like, oh, wow. That's how we do it, guys. This is how we do it. I'm not able to subscribe now because on StreamYard, you can't click on the links. But later on, I can do it on my phone. Randolph is a good egg. Absolutely, Randolph. Wow. I can't wait, Randolph. When is your calling show? The the Canadian Atheist calling show. When's that starting?
Savior type of racist who pitied a people that could not save themselves and needed her as a benefactor in chief.
Okay, let's
she was,
take that
of course,
back.
clapped on by giddy white
racist.
people.
Racist. Let's see. Madam was racist. Madam was racist.
She was also called a racist. Well, actually, a white savior type of racist who pitied a people that could not save themselves and needed her as a benefactor in chief. She was, of course, clapped on by giddy white people who thought their clapping helped those poor brown people, while not thinking too much about the details and genesis of widespread abject poverty. As for the Western media with its decades-long grandstanding of Mother Teresa, it too, say the critics, played a part in a kind of white colonialism. After her death, even NPR gave credence to her performance of a real-life bona fide miracle, writing, hardcore rationalists would not be likely to see such cases as evidence of a miracle, even while acknowledging they have no alternative explanation. As was soon pointed out, you don't have to be a hardcore rationalist to believe nuns don't make terminal brain abscesses disappear with a flick of a wrist. But this was all part of the myth, and it seemed almost everyone was in on it. Can you blame Mother Teresa for that? Well, in her private diaries, she wrote about her doubts and emptiness and darkness.
Oh, she had
but that
doubts?
Never stopped her forcing a ticket to heaven on people or demanding women.
The people who tell others, oh, you're going to go to hell because you don't believe in my religion, they themselves, deep within their heart, cannot tell you for certain that they're going to heaven. When I was a Christian, there was never a point where I could hand on heart tell you that if I died now, well then, that I was going to go to heaven. There was never a time like that. I never felt like I was good enough for God. I never felt like I was righteous enough. Never felt like I was holy enough, because the book says that narrow is the path that leads to life, but broad is the path that leads to destruction. It's so broad. Everyone's on that road going to destruction. But the people who get to go to heaven, only a small number are going to get there. The scripture even says that it will be easier for a camel to go through the eye of it. Can you imagine? I've got a needle somewhere. Eye of a needle. A camel. So anyone who is telling people that they're going to hell for not believing in their religion, and you, deep within your heart, you know you have doubts, shame on you. Shame on you. You, in the privacy of your bedroom, express your doubts. You know that the chances of you making heaven is slim, but you dare to tell others that they're going to hell. You ruin people's lives for something you yourself don't know whether it exists or not. No one has been to hell and come back to tell the tale. Anyone that says they went to hell and they saw the devil and they saw this, it's all just make-believe. No one dies and comes back. When you die, you stay dead. So this idea of a resurrection, that's a story for another day. Who did I miss? Sorry, having trouble concentrating properly. Okay, so I will sub. Anyone who I'm not sub to, I will sub after I'm done. Yes, Theresa had doubts about her own. Can you even? This woman was baptizing dying people. People were dying. She was baptizing them against their without their permission, without their consent, she was baptized. And yet she had doubts. Of course, you can't make this. This is rubbish. This is rubbish. I don't like this. I don't like this. A white savior. Racist. Interesting way to put it. Yikes. Soren, to think that this still goes on now. To think it still goes on till this day. There's still many more Mother Theresas. Maybe not reusing needles, but with the quote and unquote white savior mentality. Let's address the real issues. Let's address what's really going on. Religion is thriving where there is poverty. No one's asking why. We're still sending missionaries to poor people. Receive Jesus Christ or you will die and go to hell. We're not talking about let's try and get them out of poverty. Do you know, when I left Africa and moved to the UK, I realized most of the prayers I prayed over there, by the time I moved over here where everything works, there's water coming from the taps, hot water coming from the tap. Hot water is coming through the tap. There's electricity. The roads are decent. So many things. I didn't have to pray no more. You see why the poor people need religion? Because for a lot of them, it's a comfort blanket. They think that when they die, they'll have it. It's going to be better. So they use that as a comfort blanket. We can do better. We can all do better. We can all do better. And if you're here thinking about starting your channel, guys, do it. There is an audience for everyone. Whatever you've got to say, there is someone who will listen to you. Some people come on YouTube, they don't even have their faces on. They don't even have their real names out there. You don't need any of this. Some of you might have something to say. You really want to get the word out. I'll encourage you to go ahead and do it. 2 years ago, if you had told me that I will have a YouTube channel, I'd have laughed in your face and told you, you must be joking. But here I am today. So you're here, you want to, all of you have a YouTube channel. All of you, because you're watching me from your YouTube channel. It's just that some of you don't put out any content. And if you think you've got something you need to address, there's something you need to push out there, go ahead and do it. You don't have to wait. Guys, I use this laptop runs on Windows 8. This laptop runs on Windows 8. I've got a decent microphone. My webcam, this webcam costs me £10. But hey, we're doing it. We are doing it. Religion takes advantage of the needy. Exactly that. Doug, we're still waiting for the gospel according to Doug. We're still waiting for that. Okay, this video is nearly over.
Women should not have the right to make choices about their own bodies. We'll leave you with a question someone once asked her. They asked if poor people should have to endure their suffering. Her response was, I think it's very beautiful for the poor to accept their lot, to share it with the passion of Christ. I think the world is being much helped by the suffering of the poor people. Now, you need to watch The Exorcism of Saint Mother Teresa, or for something of a different nature.
So Mother Teresa believed that the poor people should accept their suffering. Well, I can't blame Mother Teresa. I really cannot. I cannot blame her. She was vile, she was evil, she was all these things. But guess what? She's got a book She's got a book and a religion that supports this. In the Bible, it says there that the poor you will always have among you. So whether you like it or not, there will always be poor people among you. God knows that there are going to be poor people. But hey, it's okay. The poor get to go to heaven. The poor get to sit at the right hand of God. It's just a shame. This is a shame. Okay, just before I end this, I'm curious as to how did she become what made her, what did Mother Teresa do to become a saint? I'm curious. What was it she did? How Mother Teresa became a saint? What was the the miracles that made her a saint? Okay, I will share my screen here. I'm curious to see what was it exactly that made her earn the title of a saint? They promoted her. Peach. Oh, she was promoted. Let's go have a look. Miracles that made her a saint. So, two separate miracles of healing were credited to Mother Teresa after her death. Robin Phillips, you were absolutely right. These miracles happened after they were credited to Mother Teresa after her death, which made it possible for her to be canonized as saint. Miracles occurred after her death. Can they tell us what exactly these miracles were? Let's see. Mother Teresa spent most of her life trying to serve the sick and the poor. Following her death in 1997, many of her admirers and followers clamored for the nun to be named a saint. In 1999, Father Brian Kolodijuk was appointed as a postular who would promote the case for her sainthood. This was an acceleration of the process, which would usually not begin until after a 5-year waiting period. These people, canonized people, 5 years, at least 5 years. Yet there was a requirement for sainthood that could not be waived: miracles. So, miracles equals sainthood. Until Mother Teresa was found responsible for 2 miracles that took place after her death, she could not be canonized. So, what were the miracles? The 2 miracles attributed to Mother Teresa were ones of healing, but the Vatican requires more than someone shouting, "I am cured," and thanking Mother Teresa to believe that a miraculous recovery has taken place. So, what were the miracles? Cases of reported curative miracles are examined by the Catholic Church's Congregation for the Causes of Saints and a committee of medical specialists. If it can be shown the recovery fell outside the laws of nature with no specific explanation, the prospective saint's intercession with God is considered to have brought about a cure. As the last step, the Pope gives his approval that a miracle occurred. So, what was the miracle? Looks like this is it. Many of the proposed miracles associated with Mother Teresa did not meet church guidelines. Many of the miracles did not meet church guidelines. Among the cases that were considered but not deemed miraculous, a French girl touched a medallion from Mother Teresa and was healed of ribs she had broken in a car accident. But this healing did not happen quickly enough to be seen as miraculous. A Palestinian girl recovered from bone cancer after seeing Mother Teresa in a dream. These people are seeing Mother Teresa in a dream. But the church waits for several years to ensure there's no reoccurrence in cancer cases. Wow. The church is waiting to see whether your cancer comes back before they can say, indeed, it is a miracle or it's not a miracle. What shame. So, what were the miracles that made? Oh, this lady is praying to a picture of Mother Teresa. This is in she prays in front of a picture of Mother Teresa at her home village in Nakor, in Danogram. Where's that? Danogram. Okay. It looks like this is the miracle. In 1998, Monica Bezra went to a missionaries of charity home in West Bengal, India, as she had a fever, headaches, vomiting, and swollen stomach. She had begun treatment for TB, meningitis, the year before. However, the medications she was taking intermittently, depending on what her family could afford, hadn't kept a lump from growing in her abdomen. Though some reports have described Bezra as suffering from cancerous tumors, the growth could have been caused by TB. Surgery was deemed necessary, but Bezra was too weak and unwell. On September the 5th, Bezra was praying in the Missionaries of Charity Chapel when she saw a light. Guys, listen to the cock and bull. Bezra was praying in the Missionaries of Charity Chapel when she saw a light emanating from a photo of Mother Teresa. Later, a medallion that had touched Mother Teresa's body was placed on Bezra's abdomen. And a sister said a prayer while asking Mother Teresa for help. Bezra awoke early the next day to find the tumor had disappeared. Medical exams showed the abdominal mass was no longer there, and the doctors she had seen agreed that Bezra no longer required surgery. The theologians and medical experts who delved into the case found that there were no earthly explanation for Bezra's recovery. Her cure was therefore attributed to the miraculous intervention of the dead Mother Teresa. The miracle was recognized by the Vatican in 2002. This is the interesting part. It should be noted that some doctors have disputed the inexplicable nature of Bezra's you see, they leave that somewhere in the middle, just okay, saying that she could have been cured by the medicine she could have been cured by the medicine she was taking. However, apparently, medication could not have caused the mass to go away quickly as it did. Also, Bezra's husband has been reported as saying there had been no miracle. Her husband said there was no miracle, but he later stated he was misquoted. Guys, look at this. Wow. Okay, this is the second miracle. Guys, let me check if you guys are still with me here, because I'm not looking at the chat. Guys, can you hear this thing? What is going on here? I really need to know. Beach says, I really need to know how someone who is waiting to be risen from death can do miracle. Beach, when you discover that, please be sure to let us know. These people, hey, Lord have mercy. This is bad. This is bad. Okay, let's go and check what the second miracle is, and this live stream will be done. Okay, let's hear. In 2008, Brazilian Marcilio Haddad Andrino was close to death. An infection had left his brain with abscesses and accumulating fluid, and his worsening condition made him fall into a coma. His wife, Fernanda, prayed to Mother Teresa for help. Can you imagine? Your husband is sick. He's near death. And then you go off. Mother Teresa, Mother Teresa, heal my husband. Heal my husband, Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa, you're dead, but you're there. But still, heal my Mother Teresa, Mother Teresa. How do you get to the point of praying to dead people when your loved one is sick? How does that, how does such, okay. So Fernanda prayed to Mother Teresa for help. A priest gave Fernanda a relic of Mother Teresa when the couple got married, and she put the relic on Marsilio's head where he had the abscesses. It looks like everyone seems to have an abscess in this Mother Teresa's whole story. I recited the prayer of beatification and also what came from my heart. In a last-ditch effort to save his life, he went into surgery. Okay, we are going to ignore the fact that he went into surgery to drain the fluid around his brain. No, we're going to ignore that bit. We're just going to accredit everything to the dead Mother Teresa. But before the operation could even begin, oh, okay, sorry, guys, the operation didn't go on. I apologize. I thought they had gone through. Before the operation could even begin, Andrino miraculously woke up and asked, "What am I doing here?" His wife's prayers were answered as Andrino made a fast and complete recovery. The abscesses and fluids around his brain disappeared without the need for surgery. Oh, sorry, I apologize. In addition, through the drugs he'd taken were thought to have rendered him infertile. Andrino and his wife went on to have children. Okay, they had babies. As before, the Congregation for the Causes of Saints and the medical committee examined the case. No medical explanation was discovered for how Andrino had been cured. In 2015, his recovery was deemed to be Teresa's second miracle. Pope Francis recognized this in December of that year, in 2015. Under Vatican law, the first miracle attributed to a candidate for sainthood means beatification can be confirmed. If a second miracle follows, canonization and entry into sainthood can take place. Wonderful. So she was canonized on September the 4th, 2016, as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Congratulations. Congratulations. Guys, saint or villain? How do you vote? Saint or villain? Mother Teresa, the one and only Mother Teresa. Saint or villain? How do you vote? For me, I'm going to put mine in the chat. Someone who was baptizing people at death's door, watched young children die, but had the money to prevent their death. All the pictures seen, all the people that were in her care, you need to see the way these people looked. They looked so, they looked so haggard and emaciated, just needing food. I bet most of them, all they needed was food and just the basics, and they would have been okay. But because Madam Teresa had to recruit, she had to recruit Catholics. This is terrible. The worst nun ever. James says villain. Disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. Dr. Cyrus, absolutely disgraceful. Beach says villain. B says villain. Dr. Cyrus, 100% villain. Soren says the worst nun ever. I am more of a nun than she ever was. She admitted to actually feeling joy when she watched poor people suffer. And James, she is still a saint till this very day. The one who rejoices at the expense of poor people is still a saint till this day. She was Robin, absolutely villain. I always thought it was Theresa, not to, I don't know, Theresa. Let's see. It was, it's T-E, well, here it's Teresa. Theresa, I don't know. Not that it makes any difference, really. And so I'm going to start a series. This is going to lead on to a series on missionaries in Africa. I'm going to be looking at what these missionaries get up to in Africa. Guys, I've heard it said a missionary will go to Africa, right? There's a park called Mungo Park. I think it's Mungo Park. That park was always there. The park was always there. But because this person came from where he came from, they said, they named it after him and said, he discovered Mungo Park. How can you discover something what was already there? How do you go on to discover a park that was already there? But because he is Mungo Park, he discovered it. It was his idea. Discover this Columbus. Here we go. Like Columbus discovered. Can you imagine? America, that land was always there. It was always there. But of course, Columbus had to make his way down there. I discovered it. I found it. Hey, it was me. I was the one. I saw. Guys, come on now. Come on. Come on. Come on. People take credit for something they shouldn't even be taking credit for. No. Come on now. Columbus discovered America. The clever use of flags. Guys, it's just crazy what goes on. So yes, I will be doing a series. I'm going to let's talk about these people that go over to Africa in the name of doing missions. Some people, in the name of doing mission, go and rape young girls and say they're doing missions. They go over there in the name of their Jesus, Bible in one hand, committing atrocities in the other. James, you're too late. James, you are too late. I plan to discover the internet. I'll be famous. No. That ship sailed a long time ago. James, go ahead and discover something else. Look for something else to discover because the internet has already been discovered. Let me see. What can I discover? Let me see. I'm thinking, what can I discover? I might be able to discover jollof rice. Yeah, I could say that I discovered jollof rice. Okay, the Afro-humanists discovered jollof rice. Yes, I did. And please don't let anyone tell you different. Yes, I discovered and I cook a mean jollof rice. I've heard that. That's that. Okay. Her real name was Mary Theresa Bojaj. I can't pronounce. Old Haggard. Old for short. Okay. Okay. So what are we discovering? What's fantastic? What's everyone discovering? That's Eddie Izzard's another hilarious British comedian. That joke by Eddie Izzard and flag colonization. You know, guys, it's so bad that now most of these African countries. So, typical example is Nigeria. Nigeria was never Nigeria. Nigeria was never Nigeria. It was the colonizers that changed the name. There were different colonies, different sections, but they came and just put them all together. People have died trying to separate themselves back to what they were originally before the colonizers came. The Biafra War. The Biafra War happened, I can't remember how many years ago that was, but a lot of people died because some people are clamoring to go back to what they were before the colonizers, these people who brought Christianity and all these things. They want to go back. There's still ongoing tribal wars going on till this day, because some people that came over there named it was Niger area, and they now changed it to I've even heard a gentleman on YouTube say that the N word is gotten from Nigeria. That's where they get the N word from Nigeria. I don't know how true this is, but I've heard someone say that. There's a lot of things that we do not know. I don't know. I'm chilling right now. I need to book you on my show. Okay, that sounds great to me. There is one missionary that went to save islanders and found he was saving them from paradise. Took him years to learn from them instead. Beach, you go and save people. What do they need saving from? They need saving from what your God is going to do to them. You're better off keeping your salvation to yourself. These people don't need saving. They might need water. They need good roads. They need electricity. They need, development. But not your Jesus Christ. Your Jesus Christ is going to punish them if they don't believe in him. So what do they need saving from? Guys, if we carry on, we won't stop, man. They need saving from the church. Exactly. Hey, Burge Love, hello. The sad thing is, no one shut her down because she manipulates a lot of people. No, Burge, they're not going to shut her down because she was raking in the money for the Vatican. Shut her? No way. She was, bringing in the money. If you folks would like to see more of Esther, I interviewed her and she was on my show a while back. Said, I've remembered so much, and she's amazing. It's been a long time, B. Really long time ago. That was a while. That was a while. Please put your channel in the that Christian missionary who went to the untouched island to save people and was immediately killed always makes me smile. Dog, I heard about that story, but it didn't. Unfortunately, it was heartbreaking because the young man thought he was doing the Lord's work. It was a waste of a young life. He was a young man. I think I saw pictures of him. A waste of a young life. He could have been busy where he was, going to school, getting an education or doing something with his life. But he'd been convinced that he had to go and save souls. In trying to save souls, he lost his own life. Sad, eh? It's really sad. Cosmic Kyle. Hello, Cosmic Kyle. Hello, hello, hello. Just like how Western apologists used to say how Africans were enslaving each other anyway. So what's the difference? They conveniently forgot about Jesus. Yeah. When even Jesus, when he was here, Jesus was telling folks that you should serve your master. You need to, worship your master. You need to not worship. It's the master and servant relationship. So when you worship God and Jesus, they're the masters and you're the servant. My God wants to save you from what he's going to do to you if you don't let me control you. Yeah, you need saving from what he's going to do to you. Can you imagine? These people serve a God. Can you guys just listen? I'm going to end now. Not the loss of life, Esther. The principle of the lesson learned. Okay. I appreciate that, dog. I appreciate that. Hey, good to see my favorite Uncle B. Hey, how we are. Hello, how we are. Okay, guys, I'm going to end just after this. Can you imagine that Christians serve a God that deliberately created his own enemy, Satan? He decided, okay, so this Satan, he's going to cause all this havoc. He's going to be my mortal enemy. He's going to rise against me in the heavens. I'm going to have to kick him out of heaven's gate, him and his buddies, down to earth. But guess what? We'll still go ahead and create him. And then what kind of sick mind do you have to sit there and create the place where, can you imagine, you create humans and then you have to then sit down and create the place where they will burn for eternity if they don't believe that your child came to earth to die for this. You create the devil and still create the hell. If anyone deserves to go to that hell, the one who created it deserves to go there. Yes, the place he prepared for others. He deserves to be in there himself. Guys, thank you very much. That's me done. Whew. What a stream. What a stream. I was hoping I would show the other video where people were challenging Channel 4 and Christopher Hitchens for their portrayal of the saint, Mother Theresa. These people could not see any wrong. They were so bothered by how she was portrayed. How could you portray our Mother Teresa to be this evil and this? God was so good that he created an actor playing the bad guy to look even more glorious. Praise be. Shame on all of them. It's a human construct. Great live stream. Thank you, Senator Cato. We'll be back and I'm going to do a series on missions in Africa. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm already working on it. So yeah, we will do it. Oh, Dr. Cyrus says, I sub to everyone here. Fantastic. And James, did we get your James, you said you have a blog. What's the name of your blog before I come away from here? Because after this live stream ends, some people watch later on. So there's 16 of us here, and some people might still watch this later. So James, please, what is your blog? What's it called? Beach says my channel doesn't do anything. For now, Beach, for now. You never know what the future holds. Beach might just become the next, let's see. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Might just become the next. No, I can't think of anything. I don't want to say anything that will come across as rude. So no. Burge, good night. Good night, Burge. I will respond to your message. I'm sure you sent me a message. I'll respond in a bit. Okay, I've got to go. But if you can please put your blog in here. Let's see what the blog is. Okay, so we can at least go and check it out and see what you have to say. And it might help us along the way. It's linked on your Facebook. Okay, fantastic. So we just need to search for your name, James Apperson. Okay, lovely. Good night, everyone. And I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Night, night.